Hello everyone, this is Goosebumps Godzilla, and so recently we've hit the number 200 subscribers, and I want to thank you guys so much for 200 subscribers. I cannot believe we've hit this so fast in such a short amount of time. We haven't even hit our 1 year anniversary in July, and I'm so thankful for you guys subscribing and all that stuff. I'm really very grateful about this. Cannot thank you guys enough for letting us get this far. I'm so excited about this. And so anyway, guys, in honor of us hitting this milestone, I asked you guys in my second to last video, I believe, to comment down below their favorite Goosebumps cover art. And basically, in this video, I'm going to be comparing them. So we're doing a VS Fight for Goosebumps cover art. Just basically, I say in one video, comment you're the most powerful Goosebumps monster in your opinion, and I compare all of the people who think it's the most powerful Goosebumps monster, and I say which one's the most powerful, but instead of that, we're doing Goosebumps cover art, and so I'm going to be comparing all of the Goosebumps cover art and all that stuff, everyone in the comment section who commented on my second to last video, put down. And so, let's get into this, but again, I want to thank you guys so much for 200 subscribers. But anyway, guys, let's get into the competition. Or not competition, but see everyone's favorite Goosebumps cover art. And so the first one I'm going to be doing came from Horrorland, and his favorite Goosebumps cover art is the Streets of Panic Park. And I really like this cover art. I love this Slappy's running on this, what's it called? Those rides where you go on the horses and all that stuff. I can't remember its name, but Sloppy's a carousel, that's it. So, Sloppy's running on a carousel. Really interesting. I love the flames on the horses. It's really great cover art. I'm not a big fan of Brandon Dorman's cover art, though. It's fine. It's not my personal favorite, but it's not the worst. Honestly, I think it's okay. I think if Tim Jackolanterns did it, it'd be a whole lot better if he did the whole carousel thing as well. But the concept of the cover art's really great. And again, the cover art's really great as well. Just not as good as Tim Jackolanterns' cover art, in my personal opinion. Not saying that, it's your opinion on your favorite Goosebumps cover art. I'm just going to be comparing them myself and seeing which one I think is better and the best of all of them. But you can have your own opinion on this. And so we're going to be comparing that one to another Brandon Dorman cover art. And so this entry was commented by Mr. Banana. And he said his favorite Goosebumps cover art is The Dummy Meets the Mummy. And I love this cover art as well. Again, I said I didn't really like Brandon Dorman's cover art, but there are a few exceptions to this, and that is, honestly, the Haunted Mask 2 cover art. And Streets of Panic Park, again, is pretty good, but I love The Dummy Meets the Mummy. Really love that book as well. Honestly, the book is better than the cover art, but again, I love the cover art. The whole concept of Slappy fighting another monster is great, and I love it that the Mummy is sort of, having the upper hand about this, because that kind of contradicts what you think about in a fight with Slappy or something like that, especially since it's the Slappy World Series. I love how it subverts expectations and all that stuff, so I think it's really great cover art. And comparing it to Panic Park, though, I mean, again, I said I like Dummy Meets the Mummy better than Streets of Panic Park, but then again, I think that's just because I'm, really into monster fights and all that stuff, and so, also, there is a problem with the Dummy Meets the Mummy cover art. Again, not saying Mr. Banana, that is not good cover art. It's really great cover art. You're entitled to your opinion. But I honestly have to say Panic Park's better just because it has more background. The one in the Dummy Meets the Mummy only has this green black background. Again, it's really great cover art. I love the cover art. I love how the mummy really doesn't have any dead skin. It's all just bandages and all that stuff. But there's just really no background to that one. So if I compare them to, all the Goosebumps cover art honestly is really great. But I would have to say that Panic Park is a better cover art, honestly. And so, anyway, Panic Park just defeated, I guess you could say, the Streets of Panic Park. So let's go on to our next one, and that is from I'm That Goosebumps Fan. And so his favorite Goosebumps cover art is Night of the Living Dummy and Attack of the Jackolanterns. And so, if we were just voting on everyone's favorite Goosebumps cover and all that stuff, I just want to say, Night of the Living Dummy is definitely the one winning. I'm That Goosebumps said it was one of his favorites. Let me see. Crafting Gaming said it was one of his favorites. And so did, I believe, Insanity Dog. No, he did something else. I'm so sorry. But Nicole Arville and Mickey Vera Real, all of them said that Night of the Living Dummy is definitely one of their favorite Goosebumps cover art. So definitely, if you just voted on all of those combined and all that stuff, Night of the Living Dummy would definitely win. But I'm gonna do Night of the Living Dummy last, since that one's the most popular, and we'll just save it for last, sort of for suspense or something like that. Even though it's probably not that suspenseful as comparing cover art. But anyway, since Streets of Panic Park won that one, let's go to our next one, and that is Attack of the Jackolanterns, because I'm That Goosebumps fan, said Night of the Living Dummy, and Attack of the Jackolanterns. So let's compare Attack of the Jackolanterns to the Streets of Panic Park. And so the Attack of the Jackolanterns cover art, I would honestly say, is better than the Streets of Panic Park cover art, and it's mainly because I like Tim Jacobus's art style better. Again, no offense to, your opinion on that. It's just my personal opinion. That's what I think about it. And the Jack-o'-lanterns all, huddled up together, and, one's in front of the other, and they're all behind each other. And even the dog has a pumpkin head on there. It's really great. I love that cover art. And I love it how it's sort of like the Haunted Mask, but not really, with all the kids having the trick-or-treat bags and all that stuff. Overall, I would have to say Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns is better than the Streets of Panic Park, in my personal opinion. And so, after that, Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns is now, at this point in time, the best of the Goosebumps cover art that you guys have chosen. And so, let's see our next one, and that is, let me see, The Curse of Camp Cold Lake. And the person who chose this is Insanity Dog. And so, his personal favorite is, again, The Curse of Camp Cold Lake. And so, this cover art, I would agree, is really great as well. All of the Goosebumps cover art's honestly great. I probably already said that before, but I really love all the Goosebumps cover art. And so, anyway, in The Curse of Camp Cold Lake cover art, you can see this little skull that's coming out of the water. Reminds me of Curly the Skeleton. And I love the reflection in the water. I love the sky and everything. Really eerie cover art. Really creepy. Absolutely love the Curse of Camp Cold Lake cover art. But how is it compared to Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns? In my personal opinion, I think the Curse of Camp Cold Lake's cover art is better, honestly, because it's just creepier and all that stuff. So yeah, I would say Curse of Camp Cold Lake is better, just because it's more creepy and all that stuff. And, Attack Jack-o'-lanterns, really great cover art as well. Love the cover art, but it's not as eerie and all that stuff. It's, again, really great cover art, and I'm not trying to, make it out like Attack Jack-o'-lanterns is horrible cover art. That is some of the greatest cover art in Goosebumps, but Curse of Camp Cold Lake, I just think is better, in my personal opinion. So, Curse of Camp Cold Lake is now the best of the Goosebumps cover art. And so, let's see one from his Andrew Cooper's favorite Goosebumps cover art. And so in this video, in my second to last video actually, he commented 5 of his favorite Goosebumps cover art. I'll mention it, but I'll only do the first one since, everyone only really did the first one, unless someone said as well Night of the Living Dummy, pretty much. If someone had 2, choices, it's always Night of the Living Dummy and something else, so I just count, count Night of the Living Dummy for the end one, since someone's already done Night of the Living Dummy as his, favorite Goosebumps cover art. But anyway, Andrew Cooper, his favorite is One Night in Pain House. His other favorites that he mentioned in my video is, as an honorable mention, Calling All Creeps. His 5th favorite was Weekend at Poison Lake. Really great cover art as well. His 4th favorite is Zapped in Space. And his 3rd favorite is Werewolf in the Living Room. I really love that cover art too, that one's pretty great. And his 2nd favorite is The Beast from the East, and his all-time favorite that we're doing, I believe I've already said this, is One Night in Pain House. And so, One Night in Pain House, honestly, is pretty great cover art. I love how the dog's kind of smiling and all that stuff, and it's kind of got that slobber and all that stuff, and it's standing in front of a haunted house. And I honestly think, though, in my personal opinion, that The Curse of Camp Cold Lake is better than, One Night in Pain House. Just because the story is about a haunted house, One Night in Pain House, but the story kind of focuses on the dog, and it's fine if you're doing, the barking ghost sort of story or something like that, but, it's a haunted house story, and the Curse of Camp Cold Lake cover kind of sticks to the plot, and plus, Curse of Camp Cold Lake cover art is kind of less cartoony than the one from One Night in Pain House. You may like cartoony sort of, styles, but I honestly think that Curse of Camp Cold Lake is better just because it's eerier, creepier, and all that stuff. But it's still really great cover art, don't get me wrong. And so, anyway, guys, let's get into our next one, and that is from Muhammad Ali Imran, or something like that. It's got a CH in the end. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm so sorry if I get it wrong or something like that. And anyway, so his favorite Goosebumps cover art is Return to Ghost Camp. And I love Return to Ghost Camp's cover art. It's super creepy and eerie. I love Return to Ghost Camp's cover art. This really weird deformed skull coming out of the fire, and it's got this upward view on the camp and all that stuff. It's really great, really creepy. I love the Return to Ghost Camp cover art, and I don't know about this one. They're both very similar, Return to Ghost Camp's cover art and the Curse of Camp Cold Lake's cover art, mainly because the Curse of Camp Cold Lake is, about a camp, and it's got a skull on the cover art, and it's the same thing for Return to Ghost Camp. It's about a camp with a skull in the cover art, and so it's kind of which skull is more creepier. I would have to go with Return to Ghost Camp, just because the skull is creepier, it's kind of malformed and kind of unnatural in a way. And so I would have to go with Return to Ghost Camp on that one, but I still really love Curse of Camp Cold Lake, and again, this is only my opinion. I've said that a lot during this video. And so anyway, let's take our next choice from Horror Channel Reviews, who did a Shocker on Shock Street, and that is his favorite Goosebumps cover art. And I really like the Shocker on Shock Street. I'm not a big fan of the story. I think the story's fine. It was kind of mismarketed, I would say, because, the Goosebumps film has the giant praying mantis as, like, a primary antagonist, both in the Brandon Dorman cover art and in the the Tim Jacobus cover art. They both have giant praying mantises, and you think the whole plot would be about giant praying mantises, but the giant praying mantises are barely in there. And so that left me kind of disappointed because I really love the giant praying mantises in the Goosebumps film, and it was kind of sad that they're not in there that much. But still, I really love the cover art. I love it how the sky in there is kind of like dusk or something like that. I like how the sky's different and all that stuff, and the town's really cool, and the giant praying mantis is coming straight towards you. I think that's really interesting and really cool cover art. But how does it compare to Return to Ghost Camp? I don't know. Return to Ghost Camp does have creepier cover art, but I would have to say, in my personal opinion, a Shocker on Shock Street just has overall better cover art. The Return to Ghost Camp one, really creepy cover art with a, malformed skull and all that stuff. Really creepy, and I love how it's going out with fire and all that. But the Shocker on Shock Street is really cool cover art. I love it how the giant praying mantis is there, and it's kind of towering over the town and all that stuff. I would have to go with the Shocker on Shock Street cover art just because I just like it better. It's not as creepy as Return to Ghost Camp, but I still really like it. But again, this is my opinion. And so now the Shocker on Shock Street is in the lead. And so now let's take a look at a comment from Miku Virreal. I cannot pronounce that name correctly. I'm so sorry about that. But anyway, he chose the Werewolf of Fever Swamp. And this one's a tough one. I really love the Werewolf of Fever Swamp. I think it's a little weird that the clothes are folded up, but again, this is a werewolf and all that stuff. I really love the green water in there. And the werewolf, I like it how, it's a normal wolf instead of a werewolf and all that stuff. It's pretty good cover art. But I would have to go with the, Shocker on Shock Street. Just because Shocker on Shock Street is, more of a classic one. Again, I love the sky to it. The giant praying mantis is super cool in this cover art. And, you know, again, this is my personal opinion. The Werewolf Fever Swamp kind of feels normal. It's, again, classic cover art, just like the Shocker on Shock Street. But, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as... I don't know, the whole Shocker on Shock Street cover art kind of has a special feeling to it for me. I guess it's something like nostalgia or something like that. I don't even know. The first time I even read Shocker on Shock Street, though, I read the reprint with Brandon Dorm's cover art, so it can't be, you know, a nostalgia or something like that. I'm not really sure. But overall, I would say Shocker on Shock Street is a better piece of Goosebumps cover art. And so, with that out of the way, I think there's only like one or two more left to compare. And that is Night of the Living Dummy. And so I just checked it over again. I think that's all. Forgive me if I forget, you know, one of your cover art. I'm trying to, you know, record this while reading your comments, so it's kind of scattered all over the place. I'm so sorry about that. But anyway, here's the final one. We have the Shocker on Shock Street versus Night of the Living Dummy. And so I never really got a chance to talk about Night of the Living Dummy that much, but basically Night of the Living Dummy shows Slappy's head, and it's opened in kind of an eerie fashion, and it kind of looks like he's laughing, and all that stuff, and I love the brilliant use of shadows in this cover art. You know how Slappy's face is kind of mysteriously, you know, covered in shadows. It kind of adds this creepiness to the cover art that I really love, and I know this is going to sound really, you know, repetitive and all that stuff, like, but I honestly have to say, Night of the Living Dummy is the best Goosebumps cover art. You guys all said, almost all of you said that Night of the Living Dummy was one of the best, and it really is. I really love Night of the Living Dummy. I would have to say, for cover art wise, it is better. I like Night of the Living Dummy better as a book than Shocker on Shock Street, but Night of the Living Dummy is honestly not one of my favorite Goosebumps books. I really like it. I was just kind of disappointed that Slappy isn't the main antagonist of the story. But again, the cover art for Night of the Living Dummy is really great. I would have to say it's better than Shocker on Shock Street just because of the shadows and all that stuff. The background isn't as, you know, cool as Shocker and Shock Street 1, but really all it is, you know, a brilliant use of shadows and Slappy's face, and it's really creepy, really eerie, and so overall, I would say, I know this is kind of obvious, but Night of the Living Dummy is the best Goosebumps cover art. And so anyway, guys, comment down below your opinion. What do you think is the best Goosebumps cover art of the ones that I have right here that I've said in the video? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for 200 subscribers. And I hope you guys have a great day today.